We're ready to start a new hero turn. Our first player is Andrea, and the shadow track is still at 20. It has not moved down yet, so we're doing good in that department. Andrea will begin by rolling for movement. She rolled a natural 1, so that's going to entitle her to an event card draw. That card's revealed to be Magistrate's Mandate. Event, play immediately. Play this card on any hero. That hero may now carry one additional card from either the Old Woods or the Abandoned Keep. Remains in play. Well, I think I'm going to play that on Harlow Morgan. He has that invention ability where it says as an action may discard 2 of his items to take another one from any discard pile, so it would probably benefit him more to have more carrying capacity than some of the other heroes. So we'll give that to Harlow Morgan. Adriana has the horse Euros, so that'll add 1 to her movement, so her actual movement ability is going to be 2 for this turn. And I guess she'll use 1 movement point and move to the church. She'll encounter the space, and that allows her to draw another event card. And that card's revealed to be Shocking Discovery. Event Discovery. Choose a town elder with 1 or more unrevealed secrets. Reveal one of those secrets. Gain 2 investigation if it is a little secret, or 4 investigation if it is anything else. Or play as an action to automatically collect any investigation in your space without having to make a test. All right, we'll add that to our community pool of cards. And normally at the church, you're able to train spirit there for a cost of 2 investigation. You can make an honor 5+ test, and if successful, you can gain a +1 permanent improvement to your spirit. But unfortunately, Adriana has no investigation tokens. So she's going to end her turn there, and we'll move on to Jack Fellows. Jack begins the turn at the crossroads, and we're going to have him roll for movement. Jack rolls a 2, and he also has a horse. That'll give him +1 to move, so that'll give him a total of 3 movement points during this turn. And Jack's going to make his way towards the south dock. We have 2 investigation tokens there. Jack has arrived at the south dock, and as that location has an investigation token in it, that allows him to draw or take 1 of those. And then if he chooses to, as an action, he can attempt to collect investigation. He'll test either spirit or cunning, and for every success, he's able to take an additional token of those that are available at that location. So as there are no enemies at the spot, he is going to go into his action phase, and he'll do that. He's going to collect investigation from the board. His spirit and cunning are both 3, so it won't matter which one he uses. I guess he'll use cunning. And he's going to make a cunning test, and on a 5 or greater, he'll be able to pick up that extra investigation token. Jack rolled a 5, 3, and 1, so that's a success, and that will allow him to pick up that additional investigation token. He has 2 now. And now Jack is going to encounter the space. Now the south dock is a dangerous location, so he's going to roll a d6, and on a result of 3 or greater, he'll be able to draw a event card. However, if it's a 1 or 2, he draws a mystery card. And unfortunately, Jack rolled a 1, so he's going to be drawing a mystery card. And that card is revealed to be Rumors Run Rampant. Mystery Hysteria. If Sophie, the midwife, is still alive, roll a d6. Every town elder with honor equal to or less than the number rolled gains 1 secret. And she is still alive. So we're going to do that. We're going to make a roll and find out if any of these town elders are going to be gaining additional secrets. The roll was a 2, so any town elders with a 2 value for their honor or less will gain a secret. So that is going to include Mayor Carver with honor of 1, Dr. Manning with an honor of 2, and Lady Hanbrook with an honor of 1. We'll give each of those 1 additional secrets card. And that's going to leave Lady Hanbrook with 2 secrets for Dr. Manning, and Mayor Carver now has 3 secrets. And there's a special rule for this. When a town elder has 3 or more secrets, it's on page 22 of the 10th anniversary edition rulebook, and it states, if a town elder ever has 3 or more secret cards at once, they are immediately revealed, as the elder can no longer keep their secrets hidden under the scrutiny of the heroes and the townspeople. Reveal and resolve all of the town elder's secrets cards. So we'll do that for Mayor Carver. And how this is going to work is we're going to flip his secrets cards over one at a time, and we'll reveal what those are. If they happen to be cards that will indicate that the town elder is an evil elder, then we're going to discard all secrets cards that are not keyword evil. And we'll retain those, and all the other cards would be discarded. And then that town elder's card will be flipped to the evil elder side. So we'll start by revealing the first secrets card. And that one is Servant to Darkness, Secret Evil. Working in the shadows, the town elder has been seduced by the dark promise of power and riches. They are now an evil shell of their former self, little more than a henchman of darkness. When revealed, the town elder flips to become an evil elder, joining the villain. If this elder was part of your hunting party, they immediately make a free 2-fight dice attack against you or against every hero present in the cooperative or team play. All right. So that means that Mayor Carver becomes the Elder of the Dark Gods. And we'll continue to reveal his secrets cards. We only will retain the ones that have keyword evil. The next one is a little secret. He's a drunkard, and that will be discarded. And the last one is Secret Madness. It says reveal immediately, but because he has already become a servant of darkness, that card will be discarded. It does not have the keyword evil. So we'll add the Elder of the Dark Gods to the ghost ship. That'll gain him a +1 combat and +1 wound box. That moves their wound boxes up to a total of 49 now. And that'll end the turn for Jack Fellows. We'll move on to Harlow Morgan. Harlow is at the blacksmith shop, and he has 2 investigation tokens. He's going to gain 1 immediately for his genius ability, and that allows him to gain 1 at the start of each of his turns, and that'll move him up to 3 investigation tokens. Harlow's going to roll for movement to start his turn, and he rolls a 4, so he's got 4 movement points. And I think Harlow is going to make his way to the manor. He'll use his 4 movement points to travel to the manor. He's made his way to the manor, and he's going to encounter his space. So we're going to have him draw a manor card. And that card's revealed to be a saber. Item, hand weapon. +1 to combat and +1 to honor. It's a good card. And the flavor text reads, an elegant weapon for a civilized age. All right, we'll give that to Harlow Morgan. And that's going to complete Harlow Morgan's turn. We'll move on to Captain Hawkins. He's at the abandoned keep. Captain Hawkins is going to roll for movement. And he rolls a 6. So since he's at the abandoned keep, there is a secret passage that leads to the Smuggler's Cove on the coast board. So his options would be to spend those 6 movement points using standard movement, or he can forego his movement points, spend 1 investigation token, and travel directly to the Smuggler's Cove. Now, as he has a layer card that would allow him to gain some of the pirate gold, that's precisely what he's going to do. So he's going to spend 1 investigation token, and that will get him to the Smuggler's Cove. And Captain Hawkins has made his way through the secret passage to Smuggler's Cove. He has 4 investigation tokens, and he's going to take advantage of that cursed gold advanced ability from the ghost ship. And that allows him to pay the cost of the layer card in investigation tokens, and that will allow him to get a piece of cursed gold. So as an action, he'll pay 3 investigation tokens. That's the cost on the layer card, and he'll receive that piece of cursed gold. So he's got a start there. That's good. And that layer card is discarded. And now Captain Hawkins is going to encounter the space. So we're going to be drawing a card at the Smuggler's Cove. And that card is revealed to be attacked. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. All right. We'll bring up the minion chart on the screen. We'll make a d6 roll. The roll is a 3, and that's going to place a ghost pirate at Captain Hawkins' location. And as there's the minion in the same space as a hero, Captain Hawkins will have to combat the ghost pirates immediately. The ghost pirates need to be fought using spirit instead of combat. So Captain Hawkins has a 2 value for spirit. He'll be rolling 2 dice. And the ghost pirates have a fight dice value of 4. They have 2 wounds. And Captain Hawkins did great. He scored 2 hits with 2 5s. And the ghost pirates have no hits. And the wound capacity of the ghost pirates is 2. So that means that Captain Hawkins has defeated the ghost pirates. So the ghost pirates are removed from the board. And Captain Hawkins earns 5 investigation points for defeating those pirates. And following the combat, Captain Hawkins is going to spend 3 investigation, and he's going to purchase a lair card, and we'll find out where he can find some additional pirate gold. And we'll find out that some of that is buried at the magistrate's office back in Shadowbrook. And that'll complete Captain Hawkins' turn, and we'll move on to the mystery phase. And we'll begin the start of the mystery phase. Now there is an active card that remains in play that's called The Hour is Late. At the start of each mystery phase, each hero gains 2 investigation, and the shadow track moves 1 step closer to darkness, remains in play. So the shadow track is going to move from 20 down to 19. Now we're going to make our roll on the cooperative mystery phase chart. The roll is a 10, and that's ambush in the night. Every hero must roll a d6 and add their cunning. Whoever has the lowest result is immediately attacked by one of the villain's minions. Roll off if tied. Roll once on the villain minion chart, re-rolling any event or minion that has no fight dice, and place the minion in the hero's space. During the first fight round, the hero may not use any items, allies, or abilities, and the minion has double his normal fight dice. Whoa, okay. I've made the required dice rolls, and we find out that it's Jack Fellows, and he's attacked by a set of ghost pirates. During the first round of combat, the ghost pirates were going to be at double their normal strength, so they're going to be rolling a total of 8 fight dice, and Jack is going to have to use his spirit ability, which is 3. So he's going to be able to roll 3 dice, and he won't be able to use any of his special abilities like Duelist. And here's the combat roll. Well, as it stands now, Jack has done no damage to the ghost pirates. The ghost pirates, however, have inflicted 3 wounds on Jack. So if things remain as they are, he is going to be KO'd. Jack is going to play an event card called Ritual of Protection. And that card reads, play during a fight round to make a spirit or cunning 4+ test. For every 4+ rolled, gain 2 investigation and prevent up to 1 wound to any town elder or hero, including yourself. So that's what Jack's going to do. He's going to make a cunning 4+ roll. He has a cunning of 3. And Jack's roll is 3 successes, a 4, 5, and 6. So he'll be able to eliminate 3 of those hits that were upon him. And he's also able to gain 6 investigation from playing that card. So that was a great play on Jack's part. We'll give him 6 investigation. And that's going to conclude the first fight round. And Jack has the option to escape at this point, but he's going to stick around because he'll be able to use his Duelist ability this turn. And the Ghost Pirates will be back to their normal fight dice amount. So we're going to roll in the next round of combat. And Jack was able to get a hit on the Ghost Pirates. The Ghost Pirates had no hits. They have no 5 or 6s. Now Jack has that Duelist ability that says once per fight round may re-roll all of his missed 2 hit rolls. So he'll be able to re-roll that 3 and 4, and maybe he can take those ghost pirates out. And Jack's re-roll is a success. It gives him a second hit, and that's sufficient to defeat the ghost pirates. And that's going to earn Jack another 5 investigation points. It's outstanding. The ghost pirates are removed from play, and Jack now currently has 15 investigation points. That's great. And we'll move on to the draw mystery card phase. And the cards revealed to be, these roads aren't safe, mystery. Roll once on the villain's mystery minion chart and work out the result. If a minion or villain attack result is rolled, the player who drew this card chooses any empty space on the board to place that minion or villain attack. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. All right, we're going to make a roll on the minion chart. The result is a 1, and that's called pillage. That's an event. It says discard the top 2 cards from each corner location deck. For every ally discarded in this way, place a ghost pirates at that space. The shadow track moves 1 step closer to darkness. All right, we'll take care of that. And we've discarded the top 2 cards from each location deck. None of them had any of the keywords ally, so we got lucky in that respect. But the shadow track is going to be dropping 2 points, 1 for the pillage and 1 for the card, these roads aren't safe. And that'll drop the shadow track from 19 down to 17. And all that remains is we'll move the first player marker from Adriana to Jack Fellows, and we'll begin a brand new hero turn. We'll begin our next hero turn. We'll start with the first player, that's Jack Fellows. He has 15 investigation points. He's currently at the south dock. So we're going to have him roll for movement. He has a horse that'll give him +1 to move. And Jack rolls a 6, that's modified to a 7. And I think we're going to try to move Jack to the monastery. So he's going to use that water path that cuts across the Echo Lake. That costs him 3 movement points to reach the north dock. And once at the north dock, he's able to take 1 of those investigation points. And then he's going to spend a 4th movement point and enter the monastery. There are no enemies at the monastery, so Jack is going to start his actions phase, and he's going to begin by purchasing a layer card. So Jack's going to spend 3 investigation, and he'll be able to draw a layer card. This will give him a clue as to where the pirate gold is located. And the card's revealed to be the docks, so that'll be in the coast board. All right, we'll add that to Jack's tableau. And now Jack's going to encounter this space, so we're going to draw a monastery card. And that card's revealed to be Oath of the Hunter. Oath, Hunter. It's going to gain him an extra wound box. And it says you gain +1 fight dice against any vampire, ghost, or demon. Limit 1 oath. Does not count against carrying limit. Well, that's a great card because not only the ghost ship, but the ghost pirates and ghost captain have the keyword ghost. So he's going to be gaining a +1 fight dice against those minions. That's absolutely fantastic. Now Jack is going to purchase some monastery items. And Jack has decided to purchase a sacred chalice for 8 investigation. It has keywords monastery, item, holy, and ward. Gives him +1 spirit and +1 honor. The +1 spirit will be useful if he has to combat any ghost pirates, which you have to use spirit instead of combat. It also says you may cancel any event or mystery card. After each use, roll a d6. On the roll of 1 or 2, remove the sacred chalice from the game. So that would be a pretty powerful card for him, especially to discard in any mystery cards, which could be not too good for us. So I think that's a great pick. Now Jack could have purchased some additional cards, but he already has a horse and the sacred chalice, so he only has 1 slot left to carry items. So we'll leave that open in case he finds something of value. And I think we'll end the turn there for Jack, and we'll move on to Harlow Morgan. Harlow is currently at the manor, and I think we're going to have him roll for movement. And Harlow has rolled a 6, so he has 6 movement points, but I think in this case, Harlow is going to take the secret passage from the manor to the monastery. That'll cost him 1 investigation point. So Harlow has used the secret passage. He arrives at the monastery where he finds Jack Fellows. There are no enemies at the monastery, so Harlow Morgan is going to encounter his space. And at the monastery, Harlow finds a Crimson Hand Initiate. It's a minion, a man. He has 3 fight dice, 2 health, and Harlow will earn a 3 investigation reward if he's able to defeat him. It says here you must use honor instead of combat when fighting this minion. And that will work to Harlow's advantage. He has a base honor of 3. He gains +1 honor from his old map and +1 honor from his saber. So he'll be rolling a total of 5 fight dice. So we're ready for our first round of combat. Harlow will be rolling 5 combat dice, and the Crimson Hand Initiates will be rolling 3. And we find out that Harlow ended up with 2 hits. He's got a 5 and a 6, but the Crimson Hand Initiates scored 1 hit with 6. So that means that Harlow has defeated the Crimson Hand Initiates. He'll gain 3 investigation tokens for that, but he's going to take a wound in the process. And then Harlow's going to visit the monastery shop where he's going to purchase an Oath of Devotion and a guide for a total of 3 investigation points. The Oath of Devotion is a monastery oath, and holy gives him +1 spirit, which will be useful against any of the ghost pirates. It also says he'll gain the keyword holy. Does not count against a carrying limit. Limit 1 oath. And he's got a guide. Monastery ally, you may discard guide to cancel and redraw any location card you have just drawn. So that's a good card. I like cards that give us the ability to discard a corner card location. You never know what you're going to get, and this gives us a way to get out of that. So that's a good card. We'll add those to his tableau. And then as a part of his turn, he's going to spend another 3 investigation and purchase a layer card. And Harlow discovers that there's some pirate gold at the covered bridge. It'll cost him 3 investigation points. That'll leave him with 1 investigation. And I think we'll end Harlow's turn there, and we'll move on with Captain Hawkins. Captain Hawkins is at Smuggler's Cove. We'll have him make a roll for movement. He has a lair card, which indicates that there's buried treasure at the magistrate's office back at Shadowbrook. Captain Hawkins rolls a 1. That will entitle him to a event card draw. And he draws the card Intuitive Hunch, Event Spirit. Give any hero or town elder +2 spirit for the rest of the turn, or showdown fight round, or peek at the secrets of 1 town elder without revealing them. Well, that's a good card. All right, we'll add that to our community pool of cards. And I think Captain Hawkins is going to use the secret passage back to the abandoned keep. So he'll spend 1 investigation point and forego his movement roll and return back to the abandoned keep. He's returned back to the abandoned keep. There's a militia unit there. And Captain Hawkins is going to encounter the space for his first action. And Captain Hawkins finds a musket item, gun, +2 combat. That's a great item for Captain Hawkins. We'll add that to his tableau. And as an action, Captain Hawkins is going to utilize his Call to Arms ability. For 2 investigation, he can place a militia in any space on the board. And as he's going to be moving towards the magistrate's office, I think he's going to place one at the magistrate's office. That'll cost Captain Hawkins 2 investigation, leaving him with 2. And he does have 1 cursed gold already. So I think he's doing pretty well. I think we'll end Captain Hawkins' turn, and we'll move on to Adriana, the foreign traveler. Adriana is at the church right now. She has a horse and 2 investigation tokens. We'll have her roll for movement. Her roll is a 3, and that's modified to 4. And I think I'll have her travel to the windmill. She'll spend 4 movement points, moving through the blacksmith, through the road spaces, going northeast to the windmill. And she arrives at the windmill. There are no enemies there, so she will take her actions, and she'll start with encountering the space. And while at the windmill, she finds a wooden chest. Item, chest. You may now carry up to 3 extra items from any location or town items. Well, that's great. That will increase her carrying capacity to 6 cards then of the standard type cards. That's great. And Adriana's going to play an event card. It's called Intuitive Hunch, and it says peek at the secrets of one town elder without revealing them. And after investigating the town elders and looking at their special abilities, it looks like Reverend Harding would be a good one to investigate. He has his special ability would gain +2 fight dice versus any vampire, ghost, or demon, +1 versus others. So I think he's a good one to see if we can trust him or not. Now this card allows us to peek at those cards. It means we don't have to reveal them, which is a good thing. And unfortunately, we discover that Reverend Harding has the darkest secret. The elder is either in direct control of the villain or is the villain. When revealed, the town elder flips to become an evil elder, joining the villain. Do not discard this card. The villain gains an extra +2 health, and this evil elder may not be targeted in a fight. Well, we're definitely not going to reveal that card, and we'll keep a mental note that Reverend Harding cannot be trusted. And I think at this point we're going to end Adriana's turn, and we'll move on to the mystery phase. And we'll begin the start of the mystery phase with the activation of a remains in play card called The Hour is Late. At the start of each mystery phase, including this one, each hero gains 2 investigation, and the shadow track moves 1 step closer to darkness. That's going to move the shadow track from 17 down to 16. And by moving into that segment of the track, it's going to earn the ghost chip and an extra +2 wound boxes. That will increase their wound total up to 51. Now I could have tried to cancel that card by using the Sacred Chalice that Jack Fellows has, but I probably will end up doing that because this is going to end up reducing our shadow track. Is going to be moving down at a pretty good clip. But I did like the idea of getting the investigation tokens that will allow Adriana to purchase a layer card in the next turn. And now we're going to make our roll on the Advanced Cooperative Mystery Phase chart. The roll is a 9, and that's Unnatural Storm. A powerful supernatural storm has blown over the town. Immediately discard any mystery card in play that is keyword weather. Well, we have none of those. It says also roll once in the villain's minion chart, re-rolling any non-event result to see what evil the storm has brought. If the villain attacks during the storm, it does so at a random location and is +3 combat. The roll is a 6, and that's going to be the cannon barrage event. So we're going to draw a random random location to determine which space is going to be attacked by the cannon barrage. And we determine that that's at the lighthouse. So we're going to have to remove the top D6 cards from that location. And those are removed from the game. And we're pretty fortunate. The roll was a 1, so we're going to remove the top card and any discards from the lighthouse deck. And that's going to remove the Flickering Shadows card from the lighthouse deck, and that's permanently removed from the game. We have no heroes at the lighthouse location, fortunately, so that is going to end the cannon barrage. And now we have to draw a mystery card. And the card is revealed to be March of Darkness, Mystery. Every minion on the board moves 2 spaces along the shortest path towards the town hall. Well, we do have a minion on the map, and that's the Ghost Captain himself. So he's going to move 2 spaces using the shortest path towards the town hall, and that will move him from the old woods to the covered bridge. And that's going to complete the March of Darkness. It does say if there were no minions on the board, roll once on the villain's minion chart, re-rolling any event result, and place that minion at 2 random locations. So we were actually lucky that the Ghost Captain was on the board. And that is going to end the mystery phase. All we have to do now is move the first player marker, and that's going to go from Jack Fellows to Harlow Morgan. And now we're going to start a new hero turn, beginning with the first player. That's Harlow Morgan. He's at the monastery. Now he has a layer card, but unfortunately that layer card is at the covered bridge, and currently that's where the Ghost Captain is. So Harlow's not going to be in a big rush to get there until that Ghost Captain moves on. He does have 1 wound, and I do have a method by which he might be healed, and that's to take a visit at the inn. We'll bring up the Echo Lake reference chart, and when we do that, we find out that Echo Lake, one of its themes is cunning, and that's a strong suit for Harlow Morgan. He has a cunning of 4, so that would be a good spot, I think, for him to move to. So we'll make a roll for movement and see if we can get Harlow Morgan to the inn. And unfortunately, Harlow only rolls a 2, so he's going to be able to move 2 spaces down the path towards the inn. And I think we'll do that. And that will set him up for reaching the inn on his next turn. There's no space to encounter on that road path, so I think we're going to end Harlow's turn and we'll move on to Captain Hawkins. Captain Hawkins is at the abandoned keep right now, and he does have a layer card, and that's the magistrate's office. So we're going to try to get him to the magistrate's office. He rolls a 1 for movement, so that will entitle him to an event card draw. And he draws the card Accusation. Play as an action to immediately gain 3 investigation for each other hero in your space, or play at the start of a showdown to reveal any one town elder's secrets. If this causes them to become an evil elder, gain 6 investigation. All right, we'll add that to our community pool of cards. So Captain Hawkins' choices are to remain at the abandoned keep. That would mandate that he does something called a loiter check. We would roll a d6, and on a result of 1, he would be attacked. His other option is to move 1 space down the path, and I think that's what we're going to do. We don't need to push things here too far, so we're going to move him 1 space down the path, the road, towards the town hall. And he's moved down that road path, and he's heading towards the magistrate's office, and I think that's going to end the turn for Captain Hawkins. We'll move on to Adriana. Adriana is at the windmill, and we'll have her roll for movement. She has a horse. That'll give her +1 to move. She rolls a 3, that's modified to a 4. And I think we'll move her to the manor. She'll spend 4 movement points moving through the fields towards the manor. And she reaches the manor. There's no enemies there, so she's going to begin her actions. And I think her first action is going to be to purchase a layer card. She purchases the layer card for 3 investigation, and we find out that that's at the stone bridge. So that is on the coast map. Her next action will be to encounter the space. We'll draw a manor card. She draws the card Secret Passage. That's keyword investigation. And the text reads, moving an old book on the shelf, a creaky door opens to reveal a dusty passage. The faint sound of violin and the aroma of sulfur beckons you inside. Make a cunning 4+ test and gain 1 investigation for every 4+ rolled. If successful, also automatically move to and encounter any other namespace on the board. Well, that's a great card. Adriana has a cunning of 3, so that'll entitle her to roll 3 dice. And unfortunately, she failed to roll a 4 or greater. She has 2 2s and a 3, so she'll earn no investigation, and worse yet, she won't be able to move and encounter any space on the board, which would have been a great bonus. And I think Adriana is going to end her turn, and we'll move on to Jack Fellows. Jack's currently at the monastery, and we're going to have him roll for movement. He has a horse, so that'll add +1 to his movement. And he does have a layer card for the docks in the coast. And Jack rolls a 3 that's modified to a 4. And I think we'll have Jack move through the north dock. He'll pick up the investigation token that's there. Then he'll take the sea path for 3 movement points to the south dock. And Jack arrives at the south dock. And I think what Jack is going to do, Jack is going to use his Sacred Chalice. The Sacred Chalice allows Jack to cancel any mystery card. And we're going to use that to cancel the mystery card that is remaining in play called The Hour is Late. So we're going to cancel that card, and then we're going to have to make a roll. And on a roll of 1 or 2, the Sacred Chalice will be removed from the game. The roll's a 4, so the Sacred Chalice will remain in Jack's possession and we'll be able to cancel that Hour is Late card. That's great. All right, Jack's at the south dock. There are no enemies there, so he is going to begin his actions. And he'll start by encountering the south dock. It's a dangerous location. We're going to roll a d6, and on a result of 3 or greater, he'll be able to draw an event card. On a 1 or 2, he has to draw a mystery card. He rolls a 3, so we'll be able to draw an event card. And the card is revealed to be Out of Nowhere event. Play at any time to search the event discard pile, take any one play immediately card from there and play it immediately, or play as an action to immediately move to any other hero's space. All right, we'll add that to our community pool of cards. And that's going to end, I think, Jack's turn, and we'll move on to the mystery phase. And now we'll start the mystery phase, and we'll begin with the first actionable step is going to be to roll on the cooperative mystery phase chart. I'm glad that we were able to discard that mystery card that remained in play. That would have kept moving our shadow track down, so I'm glad that we were able to get rid of that. So we'll move on with the cooperative mystery phase chart roll. The roll is an 8, and that's murder, murder. Draw a random location and place 3 investigation there. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. This counts as though the mystery card murder had been played for villain abilities. All right, that's going to also set off the ghost ship's advanced ability called Ship of the Dead. It says anytime the mystery card murder is played, also place the ghost captain in that space as well as ghost pirates in 2 additional random spaces. So that's going to be it's a tall order for us. So that's going to move the shadow track from 16 down to 15. And the location of that is going to be at the bog. So that's going to move the ghost captain from his current position at the covered bridge to the bog. And then we're going to also place 3 investigation tokens there. And then we need to place 2 ghost pirates at 2 separate random locations. First one is going to be at the fields. That's on the Shadowbrook board. And the next one is at the abandoned keep. And that completes that step. Now we have to draw a mystery card. And that card is revealed to be Agents of Evil. Mystery. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. If a minion or villain attack result is rolled, place it on the board at a random location. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. Now we do have the ability to cancel a mystery card, and that's by using that Sacred Chalice again. And I think this might be a good opportunity to do that. So I think Jack Fellows is going to employ his Sacred Chalice. That will cancel that card. But he's going to have to roll a die. On a 1 or 2, the chalice will be removed from the game. And unfortunately, he rolled a 2. So that means the chalice is permanently removed from the game. But we've prevented that card from taking action at least. So that is going to end the mystery phase. We're going to move our first player token from Harlow Morgan to Captain Hawkins. And we'll start another hero turn. And that was unfortunate. We lost that Sacred Chalice, but I think it was a good use of the card to prevent that card from acting. We would have moved the shadow track down and there would have been other minions on the board. So we'll continue on with our hero turn. That'll be Captain Hawkins. He's on a road outside of the abandoned keep. Captain Hawkins has 4 investigation points, 1 cursed gold, a musket, and he does have a layer card for the magistrate's office. So we're going to try to move him to the magistrate's office where he can obtain that cursed gold. He rolls a 4, so that's plenty of movement to get him to the magistrate's office. He joins his troops at his militia at the magistrate's office. There are no enemies there, so he is going to take his actions. And he's going to start by playing his magistrate's office layer card and spending 2 investigation to obtain another cursed gold. That's going to earn him another cursed gold. That's 2 of those, and incidentally, those cursed gold can be traded just like any other items, which is a good thing. Captain Hawkins is going to encounter the space at the magistrate's office that will entitle him to draw an event card. That card's revealed to be Follow the Clues event. Before moving normally on your turn, move your hero to any space on the board that contains 1 or more investigation. Collect all investigation in that space. That's a great card. We'll add that to our community pool. And another option now that's available to Captain Hawkins at the magistrate's office is to train cunning. That would cost him 2 investigation, and he'd be able to do a honor 5+ test. Captain Hawkins has an honor of 4. If he was successful, he'd be able to gain a +1 to his cunning. I think in this case, I'm going to pass on doing that, and Captain Hawkins will retain those 2 investigation points he would have spent on that. So we're going to finish up with Captain Hawkins' turn, and we'll move on to Adriana. She's at the manor. Adriana is at the manor, and she's going to roll for movement. She has a horse that'll give her +1 to move. She rolls a 4, that's modified to a 5. And she's going to use those 5 movement points and travel to Captain Hawkins' location at the magistrate's office. And she arrives at the magistrate's office, where she meets up with Captain Hawkins and his militia. And she's going to encounter the space for her first action that will entitle her to an event card draw. And that event card is revealed to be Clandestine Meeting. Event, play immediately. Choose a town elder and place their marker on the board in any empty space. The next time the hero ends their movement in the space with the elder, remove him from the board, and the hero gains D6 investigation. If a 1 is rolled for the amount of investigation, also add a secret to the elder. If a 6 is rolled, also add a resolve token to the elder. While on the board, the town elder may not join a hunting party. All right. And I've chosen Sophie the midwife as the elder, and I placed her at the crossroads. And I had 2 points of rationale in doing that selection. First one was that I wanted to select an elder that did not have 2 or more secrets cards, because if they were to add a secret card, it would force us to reveal all those, and we don't necessarily want to do that. Second rationale, I chose the crossroads as Adriana and Captain Hawkins will likely pass through that area, and then they'd be able to interact with her. And third, if it ends up that she receives a resolve token, she'd be a great character to do that. Her special ability is may cancel any mystery card in play or event as it is played on a D6 roll of 3 or greater. So we'll leave that event card at the crossroads to remind us why Sophie is there. And Adriana would have the ability to try to train her cunning if she chose, but on this case she only has 1 investigation token, so she doesn't have enough to pay for that. So I think we're going to end Adriana's turn. We'll move on to Jack Fellows. Jack Fellows is at the South Dock. He has a layer card, which is the docks at the coast, so he's going to attempt to try to move towards that location for sure. He has a horse, and we're going to roll for movement for him. He rolls a 5, that's modified to a 6. And Jack's going to spend 5 movement points. He's going to move towards the coast and move on to the docks where he can try to acquire that cursed gold. And Jack has reached the docks in the coast. He's in Tidewater. And the first thing that Jack is going to do, there are no enemies there, he is going to pay for that docks card and claim a piece of cursed gold. So he pays the cost on the card, which is 2 to investigation. That's going to earn him his first piece of cursed gold. His next action is going to be to encounter the space. Now, when you're on the coast board, and in particular in Tidewater, the first step of encountering any location there is to draw a village encounter card. The Tidewater Village Encounter deck is a draw deck. None of the cards are removed from the game unless it's stated so on the card. So anything that we draw would be placed back into the deck and shuffled in for the next time. So we're going to reveal that card and see what happens to him at the docks. And that card says, a night on the town, village encounter recovery. You have a grand night out on the town, rekindling your weary spirits. You may fully heal or gain D6 investigation. Well, as Jack is not wounded, we'll have him gain the D6 investigation. That's great. And unfortunately, Jack only rolled a 1, so he'll be gaining 1 investigation. That will boost his total investigation to 7. And that Tidewater card will be put back into the deck and shuffled in for next time. And the docks also offers us a special action called Market. Discard any corner location item to gain D6 investigation, or pay 2d6 investigation to take any item out of any discard pile. Limit once per turn. And I think we'll take the latter choice. We're going to roll 2d6, see if we can afford this, and then that would allow us to take any item out of any discard pile. And there are a few good cards in the discard pile. The roll is a 7, so any item that we would take would cost us 7. We can afford it. We have a total of 7. Probably the best card out there is a Sacred Stone, and that's in the Forgotten Island discard pile. The Sacred Stone card would give us a +1 to Spirit and +1 to Honor, and also allow us to discard at any time, except during a fight round, to fully heal or to cancel a curse on any hero in your space, including yourself. It's a pretty good card. I think we'll do that. It's a lot of investigation to spend, but that's a rare card. And I think we'll take that item for Jack Fellows. And that's going to cost him 7 investigation. And I think that's going to end Jack Fellows' turn, and we'll move on to Harlow Morgan. Harlow's on the road space to the east of the inn. He's going to roll for movement. He rolls a 3, so that's plenty of movement for him to reach the inn, and that's where he's going to go. Harlow arrives at the inn. There are no minions at that location, so he's going to take his actions. And he'll start by encountering the space. Now the inn has a special ability. It says before encountering, gain 2 investigation or heal 1 wound. Well, Harlow is wounded, so we're going to take advantage of that rest and relaxation at the inn, and he's going to heal his wound. Now Harlow's going to draw an inn card. And that card is revealed to be, it's a long way down, danger. Searching the rooftop, you slip on the wet moss and slide over the edge. Jagged rocks await you at the bottom of the cliffs. Roll a d6. On a roll of 5 or greater, you manage to pull yourself back up with a fresh perspective on things. Take a layer card for free. Otherwise, take D3 wounds and move to and encounter the Forgotten Island. Harlow rolls a 6, and that's he manages to pull himself back up with a fresh perspective on things. Take a layer card for free. All right, he has a layer card currently at the covered bridge, so I guess we could draw one and see if he would prefer that over the covered bridge location. That card is revealed to be the barracks. The barracks is located on the coast in Tidewater. In this case, I think Harlow's going to keep the card he has. The covered bridge card would cost only 1 investigation to claim the cursed gold, whereas the barracks would cost him 2. So he'll just keep what he has. And one thing I forgot about is Harlow Morgan has that genius ability where he gains 1 investigation at the start of each of his turns. And I'm pretty certain I forgot to do that for him on the last turn. So we're going to award Harlow 2 investigation tokens that will raise him up to a total of 5. And I think that's going to end Harlow's turn. We'll move on to the mystery phase. And our first actionable step on the mystery phase will be to roll on the cooperative mystery phase chart. The roll is a 10, ambush in the night. Every hero must roll a d6 and add their cunning. Whoever has the lowest roll is immediately attacked by one of the villain's minions. Roll if tied. Roll once on the minion chart, re-rolling any events, or minion that has no fight dice, and place that minion in the hero's space. During the first fight round, the hero may not use any items, allies, or abilities, and the minion has double their normal fight dice. All right, we'll take care of that roll. And we've made the required die rolls, and we've determined that it's going to be Jack Fellows at the docks, and he is attacked by the Ghost Captain. And as we know, the Ghost Captain, we're only going to fight 1 fight round against him. He has a combat value of 5, but he's also going to gain +2 because Jack Fellows does not have 3 or more cursed gold. So he'll be rolling a total of 7 dice. Jack will be rolling a total of 3 dice, and he's also going to gain +1 fight dice against a ghost for his Oath of Hunter. So that will give him a total of 4 dice. And the roll reveals that Jack has done 2 hits to the Ghost Captain, but the Ghost Captain has done a total of 3 hits to Jack. And unfortunately, there are no event cards that we can play to try to minimize the damage that Jack is going to receive. So that is going to KO Jack Fellows. He's going to earn a total of 4 investigation for the 2 hits that he did to the Ghost Captain, but he will be KO'd. And as he's on the coast board, he's going to be carried to the town square, where he will be in prone position, and he'll eventually heal there. Now, as he's been KO'd, that is going to earn the ghost ship. The villain is going to gain a +1 wound box because of our optional rules that we're using. And now Jack is going to have to make a d6 roll, and he has to lose a combined total of that amount of investigation and or item cards. Wait 1 second. Jack has a card that's called Oath of the Hunter, which gives him an extra wound box. So in fact, Jack is not KO'd. He's going to remain active, and we're going to assign him a total of 3 wounds, of which one of those is going to be placed on the card. And we'll give 2 onto Jack here. So he's still alive. He's still conscious. The Ghost Captain is going to be removed from the board. And we're actually very fortunate that we had that card, because as you can see, being KO'd is not a good thing. It not only awards the villain an extra +1 wound box, but we have to eliminate D6 investigation or item cards. So that was a big thing that we were able to have that Oath of the Hunter. And I think Jack is going to play a card. It's called Sacred Stone. And the card reads, discard at any time except during a fight round to fully heal or to cancel a curse on any hero in your space, including yourself. I hate to give up that card because it has the +1 spirit and +1 honor, but this would fully heal Jack, where he'll be able to get rid of 3 wounds, which would be great. And that will complete that step, and we'll move on to the mystery card draw. That card is revealed to be Ancient Evil, Mystery. This card plays on the villain. It gains the keyword Ancient, +1 combat, and +1 wound box, and that will remain in play. All right, so we'll add that to the Ghost Ship's tableau, and that's a tough card for us. That raises the Ghost Ship's total wound capacity to 53. So we're starting to get up very high on the potential wound boxes for the ghost ship. We'll have to see if we can maybe cancel that card some way. And that's going to complete the mystery phase. We'll move the first player token from Captain Hawkins to Adriana, and we'll continue on with another turn.